Ragwort, a poisonous plant in the UK, but a perfect flower to sketch. And I'm going to be using fine liners, brush pens, and then washing with water at the end to see what happens. So I'd normally go in with the lightest one first, which is the finest line at 0.1 that I've got, and choose my subject, which is ragwort, which is here in the UK is known as a poisonous plant, and you don't want it in a hay crop because dried, the animal eating it doesn't know it's there, where when it's fresh, it's bitter, they tend to avoid it. Very dangerous for horses, but it's fabulous for pollinators. So I'm allowing it to flower in my garden. And once it's finished flowering, I try and remove it before all the seeds set. That's the hay crop going in on the field next to where I'm sitting. Pretty sure there won't be any ragwort in there. So I'm just outlining some of the flowers and trying to get a feel for how they're sitting on the plant. They are all completely and utterly mini daisies. This is why sketching outside is so good, because you really spot things you would never have noticed, especially a photograph. Photographs just lose so much. They're flattened, the colour isn't there, they certainly don't move. So it's a challenge, sketching outside. If you're in a public place, you might have people chat to you. If you're next to a road, you will have people driving past. If you're next to a field, you may have farm machinery. But then you're capturing life as it happens, which is really quite exciting. And I promise you, if you move away from using a photograph, you'll learn so much. Now, some of these flowers in here are going over, so I'm just sort of scribbling them as dark little marks. It's quite a large head of flowers actually when you get up close to it. Of course I can't put every flower in. It's like trying to draw a tree and add on every leaf. It's impossible. There's really not many flower stems that I can see. You may hear in the background there is a red kite. It's scouring the field for little creatures. Okay, we've got some stems coming through here. Each stem has lots of little leaves coming off of it. Do recommend you sit out in your garden if you don't have a garden in your local park or open space, and just sit in front of a plant, even a house plant, and just try and study it. Don't be too worried about getting it right, because it's going to move. There's a hoverfly coming on in here now, so let's see if I can get the hoverfly in. 2 wings, got to be quick, and he's gone. It's quite a nice thing to do, is capture something as it comes in before it disappears again. So these flowers are slightly further back in a separate little cluster. So not quite so much detail on them. And that's going right down here to join up this one. All sorts of things going on here. Certain amount of artistic license going on here, because you can't possibly accurately draw all of this when it's outside in situ, moving, blowing in the wind, and you don't want to be here for 12 hours. So I am assuming things. Got a feel for it now. It's got quite a chunky stem as you come down further. Now this one here, even though I feel like I've already drawn that one, so let's come out here. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Now I can see a bee fly on there now, which is very interesting because it's not a bee. Let me see if I can get a video for you without it disappearing on me. Got a tiny little pocket of flowers here. Remember to draw some of your flowers sideways on. Don't draw them all straight on. Remember, flowers tilt different directions. You can even draw the back of them if you've got a mind to. A little bit clustered and messy in this bit here, so I'm just going to loosen that out a little bit. One directly facing us. A suggestion of the branch coming back in here. There we go, it's got a frond of a leaf out here. That's probably as much as I need to do on that. So I've got a few little pods, if I can find them, which I know I drew, so I'm going to go up a size. And there's a pod. The back of the flower, so I can just mark them out. There's the back of the flower. That's the back of a flower. Just trying to capture some of those. And there. Give a little bit of emphasis to them. Put a few darker centres in. This is the 0.5. This is a uni pen. Some of these are light centres, some of them are darker centres. So where I'm going to put some more dots in, it's telling me later when I add the colour that these dotty areas are the darker ones, just need a darker colour. And we've got our little hoverfly there. And I might just emphasise some of the petals on a couple, using a slightly thicker line. Not too much of this, we don't want it to be all lines. And obviously the stem can have some emphasis as well. It's quite a thick stem. It's strong, robust. It's blowing in a very strong wind today. It's got lots of flowers on it. It doesn't bend or bow or sort of disappear off with a gust of wind. It's really solid, so I can afford to make it feel a bit more solid. So there we go. I have got a bigger pen. I've got, but I think those two have done the job I needed to do. So now I'm going to try and pick the colour in my set, my brush pens that are water soluble. They have a brush end and they have a pen end. So you can add in some extra flower shapes just by using the pen. I know you won't be able to see those. When you wash over them, they will wash away, but you'll always get a slight line left behind. So now I've got those on, just squinting at the plant, trying to see the colours. It's definitely quite warm yellow in places, so I'm going to work with putting this yellow into the background, not everywhere. And those in the middle. So it's actually picking up a little bit of that black pen there, which clearly hadn't quite dried. So something to bear in mind. Oh, bee. Nope, you're not a bee, you're a wasp. Go away. So it's now starting to dry, so my colour is getting cleaner again now. So even a waterproof pen can leave you with a dirty mark if you're not careful. Although these pens are quite colourful, this green here, we can pop in the back end of some of these flowers that I marked earlier. It's having the back end of the flower. Just a little hint of it here and there. And we'll just run that down the stem as well. You can see it's very bright green, which is not a colour I would normally use, but we're working with what we've got. I could run some yellow over the top of that just to make it a bit brighter. I could equally run this dark green over, but we tried it earlier and it's pretty bright, so it's in small doses, this one. Works quite well on the leaves, but it definitely needs toning down, and to tone down the green you'd add some sort of red, and I'm going to add a brown which essentially has got some red in it, just to tone it down a little bit. Now I'm going to go to my warm yellows. Let's have a look at what selection we've got. It's got bright orange, probably too much, get rid of that one. So we've got this orange, which could work on some of the flowers as the centres. That seems to be okay. Just going to lift up my glasses, reactor-like glasses that can trick my eyes with the colour sometimes. So again, I'm just hinting at a few bits of that. And the hoverfly, we could pop some of that colour into him. There we go. And we've got this lovely raw sienna style of colour which works really well. So that can fill in a few of the little gaps. So there's no reason for me to actually wash this if I don't want to. It's quite nice. And then the last one was a really much brighter orangey yellow. That might be too much. Let's have a look. Just save that for a couple. Okay, all the pens are on. Just going to make sure that they dry. So to start with, I'm going to use a spray bottle. Just see how much. Ooh, look at that. That's lovely. Just a really softening out here. That's really nice. So I've got all sorts of things happening there. I can tilt it away from myself so it runs off the page. And when it gets stuck, you just mop it up. So that was quite nice. Interestingly, it's washed an awful lot of the colour off of this area here. So while it's damp, let's just go in and add that back in. I'm actually losing some of my lines as well. And it was definitely dry, so that's really interesting. The uni pins in this particular case have run a little bit. Never mind. We will move forward. Still using this nice zingy yellow. Just add in some more hints of flowers. Now I'm going to use the brush. Not too much water, just merge some of this leaf shape into something. Softening the edges. Getting a little bit of bleeding off of there, which is quite nice. Let that go. And here, let's soften that off as well. Soften these ones I popped on a moment ago, so they wash away into the background a little bit. Just go back to that slightly orangey colour again. Pop some of that in. Don't want too much of that, but it actually gives it a little bit of zing. Right, gonna let that dry. 100% is leaching the black pen into my brush pen there. So it's really interesting that that's happened. I'm trying to clean my brush off, my pen nib of the black that I had on there from the pen before. And now going back into it, definitely it's lifting. So the fine liners, although they are supposedly stable, they don't like being rubbed over with a brush pen. So I've got so much muck in my yellow here from, it's very muddy and dirty, so it's not great. Definitely learnt a lesson here, is it would probably be better just to do a gentle wash over it. Let's see, let that dry and then wash it again. It's a brush pen and it should have easily dried by now. It's a minute or two. I'm just gonna take my brush over the edge here. So I've definitely got muddy yellows in there because black has got some bluey pigments to it. It makes it look green. So that's really, really interesting. Not disappointing because it's just a sketch, but I've learnt something. So I'll try to wash over these next time with watercolour. Just before I stop, just to make absolutely sure, I'm going to draw a flower on the side here. Just a couple there. Maybe one with the back showing. Reference back up to my flower that I can see. Now I've done that, let's wash it. Give it a few seconds to dry. It's really warm here. And then wash it. So the water does not move it at all. Let's try that again in another area over here. Let that dry. Let's pick up a clean colour. The raw sienna. Just double check that colour, yep. And just pull that over it. Doesn't appear to be dragging it quite as much. Maybe it just doesn't like yellow. No, the yellow pulls it in. Really, really interesting. Quick wash. Yeah, very muddy. So yeah, interesting. Anyway, I've got a fun sketch of ragwort in Norfolk countryside.